Hey, hey. Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle Kelle. I'm Kelle.
And I am Chelle. Welcome, everybody. We are so glad that you are watching because we have an amazing, amazing show tonight. So
Did you
thanks for
say
being here.
amazing? Did you say
Yeah, amazing.
I'm so
So
excited.
if you are watching, most people watch the replay. We're so happy if you're here live, but get into the comment section and let us know that you're watching. Let us know where you're from. We would love to know that you're here. So
Exactly. And we would like to thank our sponsors. We have, I forgot who we do first. Let's do Goodwin Graphics.
Sure.
Ronnie Goodwin is a wonderful, lovely man. He has cottonfeelsgood.com and he makes the most amazing t-shirts and promotional goods. So he's your guy. If you need it done, contact him today.
He's a nice boy.
I love him.
Nice boy.
I love him. And then we have Blue Sky Video Productions, which is our own Bruce Himmelblau. He takes care of all the behind the scenes stuff so that we can just sit back and have fun.
Right.
And then Cards That Wow. That's me.
Wow.
And I know I have a Valentine. It's a I Don't Hate Valentine's Day campaign going on. You can give a lovely frame to the one you love.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Do you know what I love about you the most? Everything. Who says that?
Love it. Bam. Bam.
It's an Eric Bam inspired frame. So you can order them at cardsthatwow.com. So Chelle, I'm here. Oh, there's Miss Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia. Cynthia's so good. I love her.
I know. She's such a great, loyal fan.
She is.
JR.
JR. Hey, Mark. Yay.
And a guy named Chelle Kelle again.
And y'all, I need to apologize. I obviously have changed venues here. I am coming to you live from my mom and dad's house, and I don't have my camera. I don't have my lights. I don't have anything. So I apologize for the way. I probably look better. I'm a little fuzzy, but anyway.
You're always beautiful, Michelle.
See, that's what all this was for. Thanks, Kelly.
Okay, so and then I see our friend Mark Rodriguez. He's here.
Yes. I don't know. Go get him, Mark. Go get him. I mean, you know who we've got here tonight? Do you know who we have? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Okay. There's so much that I actually had to make little crib notes here. He is a business consultant. He is a digital marketing guru. Okay. He's the man. He is the founder and CEO of Client Solutions Innovations. He is a best-selling author. His book is called Walls of Wisdom. He has like over 2,500 live streams. Okay. Mm-hmm. He is an inspiration to everyone who meets him, hears him speak. He is just an amazing individual coming to us tonight. What? Oh, and
he's married to Jill Walls.
And he's married to Jill Walls. And if you missed Jill on our show, she was back last season. I'm not sure which episode, but maybe we can get that in the comments. And she is an amazing woman as well. So please help us welcome from Marion, Ohio, Ken Walls.
He's here.
Hey!
I can't even believe it. Ken Walls.
I know. Wow, I want to meet this guy that you guys have on. Who is he?
Let me tell you something.
He's awesome.
He is. That sounded like, a eulogy almost, Ken. Really.
All
of the fantastic things. I mean, what more could you say?
That was so nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you, gals. Appreciate you.
Thanks for being here.
I know.
I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah. So what's up, Ken Walls?
Everything.
Yeah. Just he's been like this busy super interviewer with who was your big guest on Tuesday, was it?
Brian Tracy.
Yes. And that was so fun. That was such a great interview.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah.
And he seems so genuine. I mean, he's that genuine, isn't he?
He's such a nice man. I mean, and yes, he's incredible. He was the guy that when I started my show, I was like, one day I will have Brian Tracy on my show. And here it is, over 400 interviews later, and I've had Brian. So everything's downhill from here. I feel sorry for people coming.
Well, no,
up.
you're here. You're here, right here with us.
Right. That's true.
So,
And I turned my volume up so I can hear you. So.
right.
Yeah. Jeez,
like-
I know.
Yes, I do pay attention to your class.
So
Yeah.
it's been an exciting week for you, Brian Tracy, and now doing our show. I mean, it's just going uphill for you, Ken.
It
really.
is like I am on the upswing for sure.
Okay.
What was your, I mean, you've studied Brian Tracy like your whole life, or your whole, live stream career. What was the thing that he said during this most recent interview that stood out to you the most?
I mean, so many things, but the one thing, and I already preached this. Do I hear a train?
You know what?
No,
Michelle never turns her phone off.
Oh, I thought I
take
heard
care
a
of that.
train bell.
That sounds like opening the market. Yeah.
So that's so funny. I already talk a lot about this, and that is the power of writing your goals and writing things out. I've experienced it myself. The magic in it, and it's purely magical. I mean, but people don't do it. And Brian talked about it on the show, and because I asked him a couple of questions around that. But the magic of writing down your goals is insane. And he talked about it in great detail. I highly encourage everybody to look that interview up. It was amazing.
Maybe Bruce can put it in the comments for us, because it's definitely worth
That'd be great.
a look. And if you saw it, watch it again, because I'm sure you missed something.
Absolutely.
I've watched it personally. And by the way, I never go back and watch my interviews ever. I don't have the bandwidth to do that. And I've watched it 3 times so far. And yeah, so it's incredible. So much wisdom. So much wisdom.
Well, let me ask you, Ken, you're talking about writing down your goals. And I actually went through a little online course on New Year's Day for goal setting and the importance of writing them down. And I have them posted where I can see them. And in the last couple of years, I've heard people talk more and more about, what's your word of the year, or what's your words. What do you think about that? Do you have one or some, or?
I don't get into, I think that, I don't get into I think a lot of it can be cheesy. I'm sorry. Getting into oh my word.
It's the trendy.
But,
I said, it's just like a little trendy thing. Now everybody's doing it.
I mean, it's like, look, I woke up on January 1st, determined to be the same exact person I was on December 31st. I have a drive inside of me. I work 16 hours a day. You can ask my wife. I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to help other people and at the same time achieve my own goals. I don't really, so I don't need a word. If I were to have a word, it would be so I can share with other people a word that they need to adopt into or adopt, maybe
Adapt
both.
or adopt.
Both, maybe, probably both.
Yeah, but
Ken would my word be volume?
Yeah. No, it's consistency. People are not consistent. And I've done over 3,000 live streams. I've done, 400. I had John Lee Dumas on my show, and John is the founder of Entrepreneurs on Fire, which is in the top 3 podcasts in the world. At any given time. I mean, I think he's dropped to maybe 10 before, but still, out of the hundreds of thousands of podcasts that there are, he's doing pretty well. And John asked me, he said, he goes by JLD, but he asked me, he's like, how many of these have you done? And at the time it was like 320 or something. And he's like, wow, dude. And they're all video. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's insane. He goes, you know what? That puts you in the top 1% of all podcasts in the world. And I said, what? Are you serious? And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, the reason is people give up. They give up. They don't see the traction. They don't see the action. They don't get the attention. Grant Cardone said the same exact thing to me when I interviewed him after Undercover Billionaire. He said, people need to learn how to do what you're doing right now, what you're doing. And I said, yeah, I agree. I have an academy for that, Grant. You should join. And he said, and he goes, but it's hard because in the beginning, you only have, it's hard when there's only one or two people watching, so
We understand.
consistency, you got to be consistent. Even when it feels really stupid to keep going, you got to keep going. That's my word, I guess, for everybody, not me. Yeah. Just keep going. Like it'll work out eventually.
Well, we could talk a little bit about the Grow Live Academy. I mean, I know I'm not your perfect student.
You are. You know why you're a perfect student? Here's why. You're consistent. You're doing it. You're showing up. You've done this now for a couple of years, I believe, or at least
our second season.
Yeah, I mean, like that's impressive as hell to me because you're showing up. You keep showing up. That's what matters. All of the other fluff, all of the other stuff. I mean, and people want everything to be perfect. Look, I did my first 800 plus live streams on Periscope with a phone. Never used anything like this. It looked like there were times I was sitting in my dark living room talking to a phone with 5 people watching on Periscope. Like, and then there would be sometimes thousands watching, but you just get, I mean, today I had Andrew Locke on again and I love Andrew and he was on at one point there were like 3 people. I was like, what is going on with my numbers right now? But it is what it is. And when I look at it, I'm like, well, I'm not competing with Chelle and Kelle. I'm competing with the algorithms of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all these others. So, it's just, you got to keep being consistent and you got to be persistent no matter what. No matter what, you got to just keep pushing.
And there's no rhyme or reason to the algorithm because we'll have a guest that, we'll think it's an okay show and we'll have like 3,000 views. And then we'll have someone like you. And well, I don't know how many views.
Get 100 views.
I mean,
you might be
there's no rhyme or reason.
I don't think that's going to be the case. But it is frustrating and we know that most people watch replays. You can't. Not everyone's free at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday nights,
which is ridiculous if you ask me. But
it's 4:00 in California, so they're still working.
But I think with someone like you here who could take their questions and their comments, live. Like, why would you watch the replay when you could have Ken Walls, live? I don't understand it. But it is frustrating when you see that there are 3 or 4, and one of them is my mom, which I love. But
my mom's
gonna watch. Yeah.
Well, here, let me give you some perspective, if I may. Okay. May I jump in?
Absolutely.
So I was a judge. Are we still here? Oh, you were giving me full screen. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
See, I'm not used to be on the receiving end. So I was a judge at an event in San Diego with Tamara Thompson's event for video marketing and live streaming and all kinds of stuff. And one of the speakers was Randy Zuckerberg. Randy with an I. That's a female version of Randy. And Randy was phenomenal. And Randy happens to be Mark Zuckerberg's sister. And she's the one that actually graduated from Harvard and Mark didn't. But Randy gave her speech. She's the one who invented Facebook Live. She invented it, her and the team and that she had working for her. And Randy was hilarious. I mean, absolutely hilarious. And she said, I was ready. And this is like you had, you already had Meerkat and you had Periscope and all these other live stream platforms. Everybody was waiting on Facebook. I remember waiting on, Facebook's going to change the game. And so she knew that it was going to be something special. She did the very first live stream on Facebook ever. of all time. Randy did. She said, and I'll never forget, I had everything ready. I go into this little closet at Facebook and I'm like, okay, this is going to be perfect. It's going to be nice and quiet. And there's going to be millions of people that show up all of a sudden. It's going to be fantastic. She goes, so I go live and 2 people showed up, my mom and my dad. And then she goes, wah, wah. So like if Randy Zuckerberg, the sister of the founder of Facebook, goes live and only gets 2 viewers, there's hope for all of us.
I take comfort in that.
I take great comfort in that.
Yes. And you know what? Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle trivia. Do you know what Chelle's first name is?
Michelle? Randy?
Yes, Randy with an I.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Yep.
She
Yeah.
said,
I
yeah.
promise.
Yeah.
Randy Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, buddy, it is. After my daddy. So
Really?
yes.
Randy
Yes. I've
Michelle.
never gone by that, but yeah, that's my name.
Aw.
Randy Michelle Jesse.
Oh, Victoria, I have the cutest country. Oh, is my accent country? I knew it was southern.
very
I knew it was
southern.
country. It was southern. Yes, I am a belle.
Oh my Lord.
But
have
thanks,
mercy.
Ken, for that because that does kind of give us some perspective.
Yeah.
All of us. And you know what? I was glancing at the comments, and we have some excellent questions
We do have questions
in
for
the
you.
comments.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got some things that I want to ask too, and I know you do, Kellen, but I want to make sure that our viewers who are here with us live get their questions answered. So
And
I don't
Victoria
know
wants
if
to
you
know
want
where
to,
you're
Bruce,
from,
you want to
though.
pop something up there? There's a good one, Mark.
So Ken, what big shift are you
making?
making this year? Personal, business?
I'm not focused on making a shift. I'm focused on staying the course.
Okay.
I mean, if I don't know that I could work any harder or put in more hours, so I'm just going to stay the course.
Do you ever think about working less?
No.
No.
Is your quality of life okay with all those hours?
Yeah,
Like you have time for your family and
I do. Yeah.
yeah, that's the important part.
I mean, I work at home, so
Yeah.
my family's right there, and I go out and, so.
But
Yeah.
truly, and it sounds so cliche, but if you love what you do,
Mhm.
because to me, I put people in jobs, run a staffing company,
Yeah.
and I think it's fun to look at that. It's like a big puzzle and putting all the pieces together.
Yeah.
And I think, would I rather be doing this or should I be watching, Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, that's not really going to benefit me at all. So
No.
I do think it's fun.
Yeah,
I
I
do
mean, if you're having fun doing it, I mean, I don't have fun with everything I do. But overall, I love what I do. I love watching the light bulb come on for people when I'm working with people one-on-one and coaching and stuff I love seeing the light come on. I just absolutely love that. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Let's
What
see
else?
what else we have. I've spent so much time talking myself
Charles.
dating years.
Charles always has the jokes.
He's hilarious. I love Charles Coachman.
Oh, and
Oh.
Randy. I like that Ken, staying the course is the way to go if you like the direction. I'm the same. I love the direction I'm going, so keep going, adapt as needed along the way. That's our friend Randy, Hybrid
yeah.
2.0. Randy,
I know
Yeah.
Randy.
And he does that. Those are words of truth right there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you'd be so proud of Randy because if you follow him, he was at a trade show this last week and he rocked it. We all went from not doing any video. He was doing little vignettes and interviewing clients.
Aw.
He was all over lives and so
He's on fire. He
That's
is.
he
awesome.
is.
Way to
He's-
go, Randy. That's awesome.
We could try to be like him, I guess.
I don't know which way to look, but yeah.
Look to your left.
Yeah.
Ken, see? More
And now I
inspiration.
go down to Ken like that. Hi, Ken.
Okay. Somebody
You know
asked
what?
if you nap. Ken,
I
do you
learned
take
that-
naps?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Victoria. Okay.
Yeah, I do. She knows that. I've told her. I'll take a I'll lean back in my chair and take a 15-minute power nap.
See, I can't
once in a while.
do that.
Oh, I
I do
can.
that.
I can.
I'm not worth
yeah.
anything with 15 minutes. If I'm going to I can't nap, I have to sleep. It has to
Yeah.
be.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish I could.
It gives me it's not something I always do, but it always gives me a second just wind, huge gust.
How many hours of sleep per night do you get, or do you need?
I get
One.
about 6.5, somewhere in there.
That's what they say like an average senior should have.
Senior?
He's a senior, Kellen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for having me on. It was nice seeing you, ladies. Wow. Hold on.
That was funny.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure. No, never mind. I'm not going.
I am older
I
than
think
you.
he's the
I know.
youngest one on screen right now. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Okay, fine.
Wow.
I tried humor. It didn't work. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey, and I told you I hadn't liked your page. I was looking at it from my fan page. So now
okay.
I've liked it twice.
Okay, great. We'll take that.
Now
Yeah.
Also need to subscribe, as does everyone,
Yeah.
to our YouTube channel.
Randy makes probably one of the best points made in a long time.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. RC,
I was
aside.
complimenting you.
I'm just playing. Whoa, I just flipped the rubber band. No, it's all good. But I sleep like 6 hours, 6.5 hours, sometimes a little bit more, but it just depends. You know what I think? And I heard this, I forget where I heard it just in the last couple of days. True freedom comes from being able to get up whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I do.
Okay.
I get up whenever I want. Typically I don't have to use an alarm. It's typically a dog barking that wakes me up.
Are you a morning person?
I hate mornings.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
When do you write? Do you write every day?
Well, I write my goals and other things in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
After I'm awake and I've had coffee and I meditate. I meditate every single day of my life. It's the number one most important thing to me in this life is meditation. I've done it every day of my life for 18 years, over 18 years. Yeah.
So let's go through a day in your life. I know you've already said you wake up, you meditate. Do you have like a little routine or rituals that you have every day?
I wake up every day. I get a cup of coffee and I meditate for about an hour. And then I, Victoria, I'm saying her comment. No. Sometimes it depends if I'm doing the or the Om meditation. But which I don't do very often. So I have coffee and I meditate and I'll go for 10 or 15 minutes of meditation. Then I'll take a sip or a drink or a gulp of coffee. And then I just meditate off and on for about an hour. And again, I started doing that about 18 years ago. The only days that I've missed are the days that I had COVID. When I had COVID, I couldn't. I tried. Trust me, I tried. But it just whooped me. So, but I got right back to it when I was able to. And, I think as far as a day in the life, then I come in and I start my day. I start my show at 11 a.m. Eastern. And I'm normally at my desk by about 10 o'clock or so. And I start working on projects. I start, social media posts for other clients. Victoria says, yeah. How old? I'm 53 years old. So I'm the oldest one on here.
I wish.
Oh, to be 53 again.
I know 53.
Oh my
That
God.
was a fun year. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then I have appointments every day on my calendar. So, I truly believe that empty space on your calendar is the devil. So I don't like empty space on my calendar. So I always have something going on. People and phone calls, like I don't even know how many phone calls I make a day. A lot. So yeah.
And I know that you don't like the little red dot notifier buttons.
The
Like
what?
those little red notifier buttons.
Oh yeah. Those drive me crazy, like for real. Having
That's why I
any
try to make my
notification.
messages short and 1 or 2, and that's it.
Who's Victoria talking to? Do you
We will
Does she
get to
know
that
about our
later in the
question?
show, Victoria.
Oh my
Maybe you'll find
Lord.
out
ask
later.
then.
No, I don't. So what was the last question besides skin cream?
I forgot.
I don't know. Day in the life. So
Day in the
that's
life, day
I
in the
mean,
life.
and there's then throughout the day, like especially after my daughter gets home from school, we'll sometimes hang out, but she's in dance, so almost every night of the week she comes home from school, she's got an hour or so, and then she's off to dance, and Jill takes her, and like right now they're at dance, and they'll be home here in a little bit, or well, I don't know when they get home tonight, 8 or 9 o'clock. But and yeah, that's just kind of the way it goes. And then on the weekends we do stuff, and I'm heading to Dallas to speak at an event next week. And yeah, so
Can you tell us about that event or what you're going to be speaking about?
it's called the Rock Your Life event with my buddy Craig Duswald, who toured the world with Guns N' Roses, and
he was on. Wasn't he on last night? I think I watched.
He
that
was,
last
yeah.
night.
We did a live stream last night.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm speaking at his event down there. And I'll be speaking on podcasting and live streaming.
Nice.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So you haven't been able to speak as much because of COVID. It's nice that it feels good that the doors are starting opening up again, and you're able to do the speaking tours.
I haven't. I mean, I'm a speaker, but I don't do a lot of it anyway outside of on live streams. I haven't done a lot of stage speaking. I mean, I've done several, but I'm not like a Grant Cardone or a Jeffrey Gitomer, or I haven't done as many as those guys have for sure. So,
but do you like it? I mean, does it?
I
like,
love
do you
it.
get all pumped up? And...
I love it. I have a little one of those little mini tramps that I jump up and down on like Tony Robbins. I'm kidding. No, I don't. No, I don't do that. So Kellen tells the dog to be quiet instead of just making sure it's in enough. I have our dogs locked in a room right now. Right?
Well, Ken, if I were to close the door, he would
Uh-huh.
try to rip the door down, and you'd hear.
Wow.
Yeah, we've heard it.
He's
telling
vicious.
She's telling the truth.
You should see how he's looking at me right now.
What? And it's a pug.
Yes,
Pug?
He's a puppy. Pug.
Oh,
I got one over there sleeping, and this one's just a terror.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Mine's upstairs, put up. So.
See.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm with you.
Let me ask you this, Ken Walls.
Yes, Chelle Vincent.
Randy, Michelle.
Randy, Michelle, Jesse, Vincent.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Well done. Well
Wow.
done.
That's why I changed to Kellen Ann, because I was Kellen Ann Hardy Fisher. There's just too many words.
Yeah,
too many names. Kellen Ann, that's it.
So, there's a book and there's a movie, The Secret.
Yep.
What do you think about that? Do you think, and for those who are not familiar, do you think that you can just think about something and it will happen if you think about it enough? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a great question, Chelle. I'm Randy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Your name on the screen's throwing me off from your real name. So
whoever you are.
We'll get Randy thrown on there too.
So The Secret 2006 changed a lot of stuff for me. I own the movie in multiple formats, the DVD. I don't even own a DVD player anymore, but I have the DVD. But I own it digitally as well. I have it downloaded to my phone. So if I'm on an airplane, which I haven't been in 2 years, but if I'm on an airplane, I can watch it. I know that movie like the back of my hand. I know the book. I read the book. I had the audio. I still have the audio. In my opinion, The Secret is no secret. That was marketing. But the most important thing that people need to learn about life and success is our thoughts create our reality. It creates our lives, and it all starts with our thoughts, and it all ends with our thoughts. So I have studied the crap out of this since. I mean, you guys know, I think I'm a recovered alcoholic. I got sober in 2002, so I have God, I can't believe I have 19. I'm coming up on 20 years sober this year. It's insane.
Good for you.
And so, I when I got sober, and I always knew because I listened to Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins and studied the heck out of them. And I always knew that there was power in my thoughts. I knew that intuitively. And I built a huge company in West Virginia years ago, but I ended up drinking all of that away. And once I got sober and I had lost millions of dollars and a lot of time and burned a lot of bridges, and I couldn't find my ass with both hands and a flashlight. I really couldn't. I was so insecure, so deflated, just deflated. I had been through so much crap, and I was just, I didn't, honestly, I didn't want to live when I first got sober. I didn't even want to be here anymore. But I didn't have the guts to do anything about it. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll get sober then. And so my life was a mess. And by the time The Secret came out 4 years after I got sober, I was still just kind of floundering through life and relationship to relationship and all of this craziness. I watched that and I was like, no, shut the front door. Are you kidding me? Is it really like that? And so do I think you can sit around and think about something enough and have it just manifest? No, I do not. Do I think that I can sit around long enough and think about stuff and take massive action towards the things that I'm thinking about and trying to manifest in my life and have it happen? Yes, 1000%. I have evidence of it, and can I share one of those amazing stories
Please,
with you?
yes.
Yes.
So Mark Victor Hansen, who's the #1 best-selling author on planet Earth, is a business. I mean, we're not, I don't want to say we're partners. Like, we don't have a partnership agreement. I work with Mark. He and his wife, Crystal, have turned into very, very dear friends of mine. Mark has sold over 500 million books. I bring clients to Mark and we have an agreement. And I work with these clients and help them, and they help them write books. And it's absolutely amazing. So, and Mark has called me. I did Grant Cardone's SEO on his website for a couple of years. I've had meetings with Grant and his team and other people. And so go back to, and that's been since like 2014 when I first got into the live streaming thing. But go back to 2006 when first time I watched The Secret. I was not where I am now, trust me. And I can remember going, what, a vision board? What the hell's a vision board? And so I created a vision board, and I'm a Photoshop expert. So I sat down with Photoshop, and I'm like, if I wanted anything, what would it be? Anything. And I thought, I really want to get to know some of these famous people, like really super famous people. So I put together a Fortune magazine a Fortune magazine cover, and I put myself, I took it, I was single, I lived in the, and I took a picture of myself wearing a suit, and I was leaning against my logo, and it was on which was just Ken Walls, right? And I was leaning against the logo, put myself on the cover of Fortune magazine, and it said, "Who is this Ken Walls guy? America's wealthiest are reaching out to him for advice." And or something like that. I can't even find that file. And I'm like, recently I realized that, man, that has come to pass, and it's continuing to happen in my life. And do I think it's because I put that thing together? I think it sure as heck didn't hurt me.
Wow.
I would love to see that cover. I hope you can
Me
find it.
too. I wish I could find. I think I know where it is, but I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah, I mean, so yes, your thoughts are so important. And if I could teach anybody anything ever, it's get a grip on your thoughts. If you I don't know, let's pretend that I can't say that. Okay, if I if I have an itch on the side of my neck, and I
Go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
and I start scratching it, and then I start telling everybody, "Oh my God, I have this horrible condition. I have this thing." All I'm doing is giving it energy. And where energy goes, that thing grows. So if I have that and I go, okay, I feel great. Did you ever see the movie What About Bob with Bill Murray? It's my favorite movie. And he says in the beginning, he's sitting on his bed. He's going, "I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful." And he's just repeating it over and over and over. Well, you gotta, like and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this too. Our unconscious thoughts are creating our reality right now. Everything that is unfolding in life is unfolding because of our imagination. And so when you look at it from that perspective and you go, okay, so if I get a little scratch, or I get a bug bite, or I get a rash, or I get anything that
You're going down.
You're going to be struck by lightning, Ken.
But anytime,
It's on, Ken. It is on.
If you give, whatever you give attention to is going to grow, negative or positive. And so now, I don't, people are like, well, you can't beat this with your thoughts. Okay, well, you can believe that then. Because whatever you believe is probably going to be manifested or true in your life. So, Dr. Joe Dispenza says that the average human and he's the he's the number one neuroscientist in the world. And he says that the average human has 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And of the, we're constantly telling ourselves stories nonstop, right? We got these movies running in our head nonstop. And he says that, about 90% of the thoughts that we have every day are the same exact thoughts that we had yesterday. Same exact thoughts we had yesterday. And that 50% of these stories that we're telling ourselves every day are lies. We're making them up. We're embellishing the truth. So and there's so many things that you can look at. The Harvard study they did, or whatever it was. I don't know if it was Harvard. It was some study I read about, and you've heard about the basketball where they take three different groups of kids, and one is practice throwing the shots, the other one is doing nothing, and the other group is in your mind, sit and think about the making the shots over and over and over. And the most improved group was the ones that sat and thought about it. So
they visualized it.
Visualizing it. That's right. Of the shots going in the basket over and over and over and over. And that's why I say be consistent. Be consistent in everything that you're doing with your podcast, your live streams, with everything that you're doing. Get consistency in your life. If you get consistency in your life, you've got a shot, especially if you have your mindset right. And Grant Cardone says that all the time. He's like, you got to get your mind right. Got to get your mind right. You know, and you do. You got to get your thinking right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You do. You do.
You have a trigger word. I call that a safe word. I'm kidding. Do you have a trigger? Bologna sandwich. No.
Platypus.
If you find yourself going negative about something, you know, Randy, that's a great question. So, I don't have a trigger word for that. Look, there are anybody that says they never experience anger as an emotion will lie to you about other things too. And Charles Kelly Clarkson. So, holy mother of Kelly Clarkson. Victoria. Oh my God, we just made a left turn.
We got a rowdy room tonight, y'all. That's good.
So, you know, I think that, you know, at the, like, no, but I do recognize it. I do recognize my mood shifting, and I sit and I go, okay, you're really pissed off right now. What can you do to change it? And in Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles that he wrote with it's right behind me. It's Switzer's her last name, but the very first principle is take 100% responsibility for everything in your life. Interestingly enough, Brian Tracy brought that up. He said, the moment, and this was a life-changing moment for me to have him on my show saying this, the moment that we take responsibility for everything in our lives, everything, good and bad, we take responsibility, we cross over from being a child to an adult, and life becomes magical. So if you say, well, and he said this, you know, oh, well, it's not my fault that butthole hit my car. Okay, yes it is. Yes it is. You could have parked somewhere else. Why were you there? You know, why and he said, and you can be responsible for the way that you react. And once you take responsibility for that, so when I start to get angry, when I start to get out of sorts, stressed out, it's Victoria said, I'm not kidding. You know, I get stressed out. It's I sit down and I go, okay, what's my part in this? What could I have done differently? How could I have communicated differently with the other person? And how can I make sure this doesn't happen anymore? And usually that's enough for me to have a shift.
I need to work on that. And just take a second, because I start talking. It just comes running out of my mouth, you know, without taking that moment to have the shift. So
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Because I have a big mouth. I love to spout off. I do. And you know, going through many years of recovery and working on myself a lot, you know, I'm sitting here playing with this rubber band. I need to stop. But, you know, going through all of the stuff I went through to get to where I got to, you know, you don't get clean and stay sober if you're a raging alcoholic or a drug addict or whatever. If you don't learn how to get honest with yourself. And you know, that was tough because I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. Y'all are the ones that are all messed up. And, you know, and the reality is no, I'm far from perfect, very, very far from perfect. And when I accept that, like the book, The Road Less Traveled, for
Mhm.
anybody watching, if you've never read The Road Less Traveled at least 5 times, go get a copy of it right now. Because M. Scott Peck wrote one of the most amazing books and roadmaps for life ever in The Road Less Traveled. It's so good. And I was going to make a point about that, and I don't remember. Oh, it starts out, life is difficult. And once we accept that, and he's not being negative, it's the reality of it. I love the way she mutes herself and yells at the dog. The reality is that life is difficult. And the sooner that we accept that life is difficult, that you have hiccups, that things, don't always go the way I want them to go, then it becomes much easier to transcend the difficulties in life. And so I just try to remember that, yeah, because I'm going to tell you, I know billionaires that I'm friends with. I know mega millionaires. I know, very, very broke people. I mean, I know everybody on the entire spectrum. And at the end of the day, we all put our pants on the same way. We all like look stupid when we're sitting on the toilet. I mean, like I just think like we're all trying to figure this thing out. Nobody has it. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Nobody and I've seen the best of the best get ticked off and act foolish. The very best. I've seen it. It happens.
We all get rashes.
Right. Kellen, tell everybody about your rash.
I want to know about the one that you had to take penicillin for.
Now let's hear about that, Ken Walls.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, Charles, I know lots of hundredaires and many thousandaires, but I think, and for those watching, we were all joking about this before we started, but yeah. I think it's don't take yourself so damn serious. Like, I mean, I try like crazy not to be overly judgmental. We're all judgmental, by the way, every one of us. And if you say you're not, you're lying again. We're all judgmental, but I try not to be critical. Which is, Alan. Wow, that's right.
Hi, Alan.
That's the story.
Hey, Alan.
Well, it all started at a pool table one night in a bar. So, but I try not to be critical of other people. That's it. And again, sometimes that's not easy. I mean, look at the 2020 election cycle. My God, this country got crazy. Like, and it was all about everybody wants to be right. And right. There's this saying, this quote that I love, and it's a man, and you can put a woman in there, but a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So I don't argue politics or religion or anything. I just like, dude, you want to believe that? Believe it. I don't care. Like, it does not matter to me. Like, believe whatever you want.
Yeah. And you're not going to change anyone's mind anyway.
Nope.
No.
You know what does? You know what does?
What?
Pain. Pain precedes all wisdom. So look, if somebody, I have an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I don't know if you've ever tried arguing with an 11-year-old or a 16-year-old, but I am not quite sure how I got to 53 years old without their sage wisdom in my life, but anyway,
well, wait till they're 18.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Wait till they get 18.
Anyway, so I don't even argue. I'm like, okay, you'll see.
I do the smile and nod,
and they will see.
Yeah,
they will see.
So did I answer your question? I don't even know if I answered a question. I'm sorry.
I think you did.
I think you did.
Anything else over here, Bruce? Maybe not rash related that we could talk about? I don't know. No safe words. That's what's kind of in the comments right now.
Oh God, Jerry said,
Yeah.
wait till they leave and come back with friends. Oh Lord have mercy.
That happens too.
Mercy.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Ernest Odell, it is coming to pass because you, one, wrote it down like a goal, and two, you took action. I think that sums it up. Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's I love the edification and the wonderful words that you guys gals have said about me, that you said up front, and I really mean that. It means everything to me. But I'm a high school dropout. I didn't go to college. Well, I did, but it was to party and for other reasons. I went to a college campus, the Ohio State University campus, but just to party. Like they wouldn't let me in that school if I begged them. But and I had a teacher tell me that I was never going to amount to anything. And here's the interesting thing is I've authored or co-authored 7 different books, and none of those teachers have written anything. Mm-hmm. So, if you desire it enough in your heart and you really are willing to write it down, that you're going to write a book and it's going to, or I'm going to be a best-selling author, or I'm going to be a motivational speaker, or I'm going to be the king of live streaming, or I'm going to be like Jerry Eisenhower, who is the king of the chimney sweep and fireplace industry throughout the nation. And, whatever it is that you really, truly desire, I encourage everybody, dig deep, look for what was that gift that, when you left heaven to come to be in your mother's womb, and you made a contract with God. You had an agreement that you were going to do whatever that was. And I would encourage everybody to say, am I doing it? Am I doing that thing that I contracted with the creator of the universe to do before I departed and headed this direction? Am I on that path? And if you're not, and fear's holding you back, screw that. Just go. Stomp on the gas.
Yeah. Wise words, Ken. Yeah. And be yourself. Be who you were meant to be. I actually have that on my board in front of me. Yeah. Be the person you were meant to be.
Yeah.
And find that person. If you don't know who that is, then do a deep dive. We've got Ken Walls. We don't need another Ken Walls. Be the best Kellen, be the best whatever, fill in the blank. And sometimes sometimes it's hard to find that. Sometimes it's it's work. Sometimes we want to take the easy way. Sometimes it's a little painful to get there. But I think as you can attest to, Ken. So
yeah. I wrote it in my book, that pain is the predecessor of all wisdom. And I'm one of the Jerry. I'm one of those people that you can go, hey Ken, be careful over there. That burner's hot on that stove. And I'll be like, yeah, right. God, it is hot. And then I'll go, was that really hot? Yes, it's hot. So it takes a lot for me, right? I gotta have my butt kicked bad before I'll listen. And I think that there's a lot of people like that. Mm-hmm. And eventually you learn the burner's hot. But a lot of people still go back over and touch the burner anyway, but I think you've just got to get yourself, who was it? Brian Tracy that said on my show the other day something about, he said my friend Charlie Jones, and I didn't even tell Brian this, but Charlie Tremendous Jones I'm friends with his daughter, Tracy, Dr. Tracy Jones, who may be watching right now. But, he says it's not about how hard you fall, but how high you bounce.
Mhm.
And you're gonna fall, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna develop a rash, you're gonna have problems in life, and that's okay. It's called being human. It's like I
Mhm.
teach in the Grow Live Academy. I say, look, you're afraid to go on camera, and I get it. I was nervous as a hooker in church the first time I hit live. I was like, I mean, I was a maniac about it. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'm doing it. And I went live, and I literally remember looking at my phone going, hi, I don't know why I'm even doing this, but this guy Grant Cardone said I
Michelle,
needed to. I was freaked out.
you should hear the story about the first time Michelle went live.
Let's hear it.
Well, I wish Eric Mann were here because he loves telling
He
the
tells
story.
it the best.
Yeah, he
does.
tells it the best. It kind of grows each time he tells it a little bit. But the whole point of the story was I was like, y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I giggle.
How do I turn this
Yeah,
off?
how do I turn this off, y'all? So
Just
I
shut the
ended up
whole phone off.
turning off the phone and throwing it on the bench on my front porch because that's where I was. So,
I get it.
yeah, I just turned off
I
the
love
phone.
that story.
But I mean, look, and people, like, when you're live streaming, if you're doing this and you're doing it, I mean, I say doing it right, because there is a right way to do it. There is definitely a wrong way to do it. I've done it the wrong way many, many, many times. And so it was Jen Gittimer that told me to create the Grow Live Academy. She's like, oh my God, you need, because I had Jeffrey and Grant Cardone on a live stream at the same time together with me. And she, she kind of catapulted this whole thing. But like, the thing is, you got to just do it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to show up and stop with the BS excuses you allow your mind to make up. Well, I got to have my makeup perfect, or my hair's got to be perfect, or I got to have this right or that right, or like, no, just go live. Tell your story, be authentic and real, and you will attract your tribe, but you've got to do it and be consistent. You can't do it 5 times or 10 times or 20 or 40 or 100 times. You've got to keep doing it. Don't set a number. Keep going. And eventually you'll be as professional as you all are.
That
We
was
can
so
maybe set that
kind.
bar a little higher. But yeah, Jen Gittimer created a monster. I'll tell you, Jen Gittimer is one smart chick. She really is.
She is. She's awesome.
She's
I
a
love
good
her.
one.
I
She's
love
a good
Jen.
one.
And Ken,
Okay.
if it weren't for you, Chelle and I wouldn't be here right now, because it was your Grow Live Academy that I joined. And I said to her, I go, let's do a show. And she goes, what about? I said, I don't know.
I love that.
We'll figure it out. And I said,
and we
okay.
figured it out. And
It was
you're
like 4
doing
weeks after my
this is
phone
like the
throwing
highlight of our
episode.
week.
Yeah.
It's the highlight of my week,
Wow.
because I love
That's
doing my show with
awesome.
Chelle.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's
So thank you, Ken.
awesome.
Ken,
Thank you.
You
Wow.
have just been amazing tonight. I have learned so much. We always learn from you all the time, but this has just been wonderful. We're not finished, but we're going to a more frivolous section of the show here, which I don't know. Kellen, have you prepared him for this?
Uh-oh.
No. Okay. Ken, here's what
Where's
I need
our
to know
little
about
promo
you.
thing?
We had, oh yeah. Okay.
Bruce?
Okay,
Do you like
I
that?
think Victoria
I love
spoke.
that.
Yeah, well, Victoria spoke earlier about your beautiful complexion, and surely you must be filtered. And what are you doing? So, Ken, what are you doing? How do you get that beautiful complexion?
I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
That's
So
the
there's no
secret.
moisturizer?
You don't moisturize?
You don't
exfoliate?
facial cleanse?
Nope.
You don't wash your
No
face?
kind of peel?
No.
No exfoliating?
No.
We could go
I
on for hours.
shave.
No.
Well, that's exfoliating, scraping a razor blade across your face.
I use an electric razor most of the time, but I use a regular razor too once in a while. Now I do the place where I get my hair cut. It's a it's a men's it's a barber shop, but not like a traditional. It's all anyway. I have had them do where they shave. They'll shave me. But that's
Like with the blade thing.
Yeah, like a straight razor.
no. That's
I
no.
love those.
Me too.
Why? You look psycho saying that.
I am.
He's like,
Gosh.
I love cutting people's throats with those. I always be like,
I just
don't.
love it, like in movies when men use a straight razor. I like
Yeah,
not to
no.
slash somebody up, but
No. That's not. We don't do that.
Slam.
Ken.
personal grooming.
I'm just playing. Yeah, no, I've never had a straight razor used on me. Thank God.
Exfoliating sounds nasty.
Oh, it's
Exfoliating,
refreshing.
safe words. Yeah, use safe words.
Safe words. Yeah, bloody sandwich. But I think that sorry, but the says you have.
JR.
Oh my gosh. So no, I don't. I do drink a lot of water.
That's
A
very
lot.
important.
It is
I know
incredible.
it's so good for you. It's so good for. It's certainly good for your skin, but good for everything.
Yep.
I drink it. Via Diet Coke and sweet tea.
That's not water.
I've become a
water
sweet
in
tea
it.
fan ever since
just
you
saying.
introduced me to it, Michelle.
You don't really even need to say sweet tea here. You just say tea, and it's it's a given that it's going to be
It's like-
sweet. So
Very sweet.
It's
you have to
very
specify
sweet.
if you want unsweet. I like my sweet tea crunchy. I mean, I want it sweet.
Do now, and you're in Louisville, right?
I am.
Okay. Do y'all make pecan pies down there?
We do make pecan pies.
Your mom does.
She does, and so do I. We make derby pie. A lot of people
Make
here
what?
derby pie.
What's that?
Are you kidding me, Ken Walls?
I am not kidding you. What is derby pie?
Okay, derby pie. You can make it.
Hold on. Kellen, do you know what it is? Oh, snap. See, she doesn't know either.
No, she did tell me, but I don't remember.
You can
I'll
make
be
it
honest.
either with walnuts or pecans, either way, and it's basically that and chocolate, and it's
Mhm.
divine.
Now I'm remembering.
Instead of putting vanilla in it, you put bourbon instead of vanilla.
Oh.
Oh, we talked about that. Okay.
It's a tradition at Derby time. Yeah. And it's funny now because all the restaurants here serve it, but you can't call it Derby pie because that is trademarked by Kern's Kitchen. I know that. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. So it's called everything else. Most of the time, chocolate nut pie, Run for the Roses pie, something like that. Churchill Downs pie.
That sounds
It's
really good.
Delightful.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, since I'm driving through Louisville here soon, I'm gonna have to stop somewhere and get some.
Hell, let me tell you, you can stop at my house. I can make you one. Make you a good one.
Make me a derby pie. I'm in
Heck
route.
yeah.
So, and
And
somebody
then have
asked
her
a
mom make you some
question.
biscuits.
Somebody asked a question a minute ago. It was up on screen about who the most influential person.
Oh, yeah.
I think of all the people that you've spoken to and met, who has been the most influential in your life? That it is so difficult to answer that question because there have been so many. I mean, there are so many people that I've learned from, that have mentored me, that still mentor me. Every time I get on the phone with Mark Victor Hansen, I hang up and think, number one, wow, I just talked to Mark Victor Hansen. Number two, like, he imparted wisdom on me about whatever topic. It's insane. So, but Brian Tracy back in the day is probably, between him and Zig Ziglar. Those two changed my life. And then, fast forward to meeting Grant Cardone and so it's so hard. I don't know that there's one single person that I can say, yeah, that's the one.
Mhm.
It's quite a nice compilation of people, that's for sure.
It really is.
Absolutely.
It really is. Look at that. There's Sean Cannell, great guy. Ray Higdon, awesome dude. My daughter, Kenna. There is the girl the short girl. What is her name? I forget her name. There's Judy Fox, Les Brown, Jeffrey Gitomer. Love
the
Jeffrey.
Getmeister.
Yeah, I love. There's Zig Ziglar's daughter, Julie.
Oh.
Yeah, there's me and Grant.
And guys, if you are not familiar with
Yeah.
Breakthrough Walls, Ken's podcast, check that out.
Mm-hmm. And
Thank
check
you.
out the Grow Live Academy. So if you want to
Absolutely.
go live,
Absolutely. We can get all of that in the kenwalls.com. Get all
You
that.
know, the Grow Live Academy, though, like be real. It's not about live streaming.
oh no,
It's not. It's about so much more than that. And the weekly coaching calls that we do on
Mhm.
Thursday nights, and the people that I've had come on there and teach and impart so much wisdom. It's unbelievable. Like, it's so much more than learning how to live stream.
it is, and it's a family too.
It is. It really is. We have a lot of fun on Thursday nights.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you have your 100 things live
100
streaming ideas.
100 livestream secrets.com is
Yeah.
free. You can go download my ebook for free. It's part of Jeffrey Gitomer's book, Go Live. I wrote the longest chapter in that book, chapter 3. And it's all
Did
about.
you get paid by the word?
We won't talk about that. But the 100 live stream secrets is because I mean, look, it's a lead magnet, but at the end of the day, it's so valuable. That 100 live stream secrets ebook has so much information in it, and it's because people are always like, how do you come up with so many ideas to go live? I mean, I go live sometimes 5 or 6 times in one day, and it's like, how do you come up with these ideas? I wrote them down, and they're in that ebook, and it's free. So,
And I've gone through that book thinking, what am I going to do? When I had my first show, the Ignite Your Wow and the Coffee Talk, I actually used that book to help me come up with some kind of a format. So it is a great tool.
Yeah. And it's free, guys.
It's
So
free. And it's not like, it's not all these secrets that I keep. It's just common sense topics that you live every day of your life. Like, how to make Derby pie. If I knew how to make Derby pie, I'd be doing live streams showing people how to make Derby pie just so I could get more eyeballs. Look, Grant Cardone says this, and it's true. Money follows attention. If you want to make more money in life, if you want to have more in life, you got to get more attention. More people need to know who you are. Get out of obscurity.
Right. See, we still need to make that whoopie pie course.
Yeah, we talked about we were going to go live and do whoopie pies. Do you know what those are, Ken? You're from West Virginia. You have to know what whoopie pies are.
I am not from West Virginia, but I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
I'm from Ohio. I lived there for 5 years.
So do you know what whoopie pies are?
Huh?
Do you know what whoopie
pies are?
Whoopie pies? No. I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, we'll do a video and you'll have to watch.
I know what whoopie is. And I know what pies are.
Yeah.
Are they related?
No, they're not.
Put them together.
Okay. Not at all. It's nothing like either one of those things. But they are pretty darn good. So
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll do it live, and we will
do it.
We will school you on whoopie pies, Ken.
I would love to see that. Huh?
Okay.
I'll send you a notification when we go live to do it.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, listen, I know you guys I'm assuming we're wrap
over.
up. Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, we're over our time. We usually
we're still live, but yeah. But yeah,
it's awesome.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I don't know when I've had more fun.
I know. Thank you so much, Ken.
I've had fun.
Thank you for helping us become what we are.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thanks to the folks watching live tonight. You all have been fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
So again,
if you like what you saw, be sure to share it.
Share
it, your friends.
Please. Everyone.
No, hold it. Whether you liked it or not, share this out. Don't be selfish. Share it out.
Look, Charles did.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Share this. Everyone needs to see this show.
I love going through people's Facebook pages, by the way, I know who my selfish friends are. they're the ones that I get rid of first when I have people that want to send me a friend request and I can't because I have 5,000 friends.
Yeah.
So I just go, let me look through their Facebook page and see what they've shared of other people's stuff. And if they're selfish and self-centered, I get rid of them. Because that's how I built what I build, is sharing other people's stuff. Share it out. Don't be selfish.
That's right. That's right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you both. You're
been
awesome.
Thank you, Blue Sky Video Productions. Thank you, Goodwin Graphics and Cards That Wow.
That's right.
We will be back here next week with, do you know who we have? Larry Levin.
I am not the keeper of the schedule. Who do we have?
Larry Levin.
Larry Levine. Next, that'll be fantastic. Fantastic.
That'll be fun. So maybe you should check that out too, Ken, because you'll want to interview.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Okay, cool.
I like it.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody.
Terrific show, Ken. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Great. See ya.
Bye.